Ball and Chain in early 2023 turned Chicago's South Side into a war zone. Z-Money from Bloodhound got hit 29 times for a piece of jewelry. Lil Jeff forced Trapcity members to disrespect their own dead homies on camera. Rob caught Lil Jeff lacking and lit him up 19 times on the porch. Trapcity Tero claims Bloodhounds used other blocks to do their dirty work. This is more than just gang beef. This is warfare where crews hire shooters and nobody knows who's really pulling triggers. This is the deadly war between Trapcity Tero and the Bloodhounds, the city that breeds beef. Chicago has been a battlefield forever, but drill music changed everything. Now every slide, every body, every move gets posted online. 150,000 gang members across 100 sets made Chicago the most gang-heavy city in America. Gangs did 61% of in 2011, and it hasn't slowed down since drill started. The difference now is everything gets filmed. Social media became where oppositions diss dead homies, claim bodies, and announce their next moves before they even make them. Trapcity and Bloodhound's beef is different because it's digital warfare. Bloodhound is renegade BDs, Drill City and MTV from spots like Chatham. This is where rappers like Trapcity Tero, Bloodhound Jeff, and Rel Vert grew up. These two factions broke off from regular BDs and started their own thing, making enemies everywhere. Bloodhound Jeff even got bold enough to rap about hanging his enemies in his song Should've Saw It, showing how deep the disrespect went. So much hate, I be wishing I could hang it. What started as neighborhood beef got bigger when social media pushed their diss tracks to millions of people worldwide. The algorithms kept promoting their content, turning local gang war into entertainment for drill fans across the globe. The war happens on 3 levels. Street level, where shooters slide and bodies drop. Music level, where rappers turn to songs and make money off trauma. Then there's the online level where fans pick sides, decode lyrics, and keep score through body counts and arrest records. Trapcity Tero got big because he knew how to handle all 3, using Reddit and YouTube to control the story while his boys handled business in the streets. He understood that winning the narrative war was just as important as winning the actual war. Drill culture demands proof. Fans want to know who really did what, which rappers were authentic, and which crews were really stepping. This pressure to prove credibility turns every conflict into a performance where gang members gotta balance staying alive with staying relevant. This is where Trapcity Tero comes in. Tero knows the drill scene and gang politics. He talked about Drill City in interviews, which is big in Chicago gang culture, and how he came from there.
And these your own, these that you can call big brother. I call big bro, he'll do whatever for me. Huh, bro, you want this, you want that, I got you. You gonna swipe a that don't get.
Born and raised on Chicago's East Side, Tero described growing up as fun until everything got dangerous around age 13 to 14. By 13 to 14, he was the average kid in the area, cooling outside and doing all types of activities. Tero grew up in a household with both parents, his mom and father, plus 2 older sisters and 1 little sister who's about 4 years old. As the only boy in the family, he had to step up early. He said growing up with all girls meant you got to be the alpha. He realized he had to be the one to stand on business and make sure his family stayed straight, even when they didn't agree with how he was getting money. He put it simply this way.
It's us from Indiana, gang. When we got into it, we don't know. To this day, we don't know that man from a can of paint, bro. He just inherited.
As the baby boy of the family, Tero had unique responsibilities. He's been outside since he was 8 years old, knowing the streets and how everything worked. When it comes to jumping off the porch, which people define differently, Tero says it was around 14 to 15 for him. He was in high school when he officially jumped off at 14, but he'd always been outside and understood the streets from a young age. Tero finished high school 2 years ago and is now 20 years old, making him part of the young generation in Chicago's drill scene. Despite finishing school, he remains connected to gang life and uses his platform to speak on conflicts that shaped his neighborhood. Tero's comment about graduating high school and going to college made people mad because Reddit users think he's fake. One said his opinion changes every interview, and another said a hypocrite, showing people don't trust him. Some users accused him of being federal by commenting these words. This for federal, he basically just told everybody that the got his homie is a hood that's clicked up with Bloodhound crazy work. Tero's fans, however, defended his right to speak on the conflict that's already public through music and social media. All these contradictory statements from Tero, plus his constant comments about how the Trapcity and Bloodhound war started, earned him the tag of being a liar. People say he's just trying to fuel the war even more with all his public explanations about gang business. But how exactly did this war between Trap City and the Bloodhounds escalate? The chain that broke Chicago. Everything started over a chain, like most drill beat. Material possessions represent status and disrespect equally in street culture. When Lil Jeff from Bloodhound saw Carter from Trap City, he saw a chance to make a statement. Carter, also known as Six or Vel, was respected in his set, stayed low, but always ready to slide when needed. His chain was Trap City status and legitimacy in a world where image matters as much as action. Jeff snatching that chain was calculated disrespect designed to provoke retaliation and give Drill City content for their next diss track.
I'm still riding with that foot, running around this bitch on buggy. Don't got a mask, tighten up that hoodie, switch to splash, we so gushy. AC jam my trap.
The chain theft started events nobody could stop once they began. Trap City couldn't let that disrespect slide without losing credibility with their own members and rival sets across the city. Retaliation became inevitable, and Lil Cap from Trap City took responsibility for getting their respect back. Z-Money became the target not because he was involved in the chain theft, but because he was available and represented the right set. March 16, 2023, Lil Cap found Z-Money near 79th and Kimbark and lit him up, hitting him over 29 times. The excessive number of shots sent a message that this was a declaration of war. Bloodhound Q50 even talked about Z-Money's death in a Vlad TV interview.
Like Z was the nigga, like, he don't do no wrong. Like Z don't do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? He brother don't lie, he don't cheat, he don't steal. Like Z was like that at heart. So when I lost him, it was like, damn, y'all just took. It's like y'all ain't taking. It was like
Z-Money's officially ended the 0679 alliance and marked the beginning of what became the deadliest gang war in recent Chicago history. The 0679 alliance had kept peace between multiple sets for years, allowing them to focus on making money instead of each other. But Lil Cap's decision to body Z-Money shattered those agreements and forced every crew to pick sides. Bloodhound couldn't let their man's death go unanswered without appearing weak to their allies and enemies. The pressure to retaliate immediately became overwhelming, especially when Trap City members started celebrating Z-Money's death on social media and in their music, particularly in Tero's No Diss track. Z-Money was the first, but like the curse, I'm tired of Zans. They did him bogus. Bloodhound's response came 3 months later when they caught Leal from Trap City lacking in a lift. The 19-year-old was sitting in the back seat of the rideshare in the 1300 block of West Taylor Street when a shooter walked up with a micro Draco and opened fire. Leal got hit at least 7 times while the Lyft driver tried to speed away, shooting continuing for 2 blocks as the gunman chased the car. The driver rushed to Rush University Medical Center in an attempt to save Leal, but he was already gone. No suspects were arrested, but Bloodhound claimed them immediately on social media, making it clear this was payback for Z-Money.
Hey, Lil Jeff, you like fuck by your face? You want that chain, little nigga? He tried to run him. He tried to get in the car and pull out. We was right there. I never been a bitch.
Bitch, it ain't no middle.
Yeah, no, that's just how I'm living. If you can snatch your such a mouth, we don't condone the snitching. Pay attention. I can show you niggas. I can show you something.
Pay attention, little boy.
You know that.
The public nature of the hit, shooting up a rideshare vehicle in broad view of witnesses, showed that Bloodhound was willing to risk everything to get their revenge. The symbolism mattered too. Leal wasn't just another Trap City member. He was young, talented, and represented the future of his set. He sent a message that nobody was untouchable and that Bloodhound would target anyone connected to Trap City regardless of their role in the original chain theft incident. Lil Jeff became Bloodhound's most visible and aggressive member, taking personal responsibility for pressing Trap City at every opportunity. After bodying Leal, he started targeting Trap City members for public humiliation, knowing that respect matters as much as fear in drill culture. When Jeff caught Big Motion from Trap City, he didn't just rob him or he forced him to say Leal on camera, creating content that would haunt Big Motion forever while disrespecting Trap City's dead homie. This wasn't just violence. It was performance designed to demoralize the opposition and create viral content that would spread Bloodhound's reputation across social media platforms. The video got thousands of views and showed other crews that Bloodhound wasn't just willing to, they was willing to humiliate. On August 31st, 2023, Lil Jeff and Q50 from Bloodhound, Glenn from Trap City 15 times on August 31st, 2023. showing they were committed to running up the score instead of settling for even. But Trap City retaliated by shooting Q50 in the leg during fall 2023, proving they could reach Bloodhound members despite increased security measures. Later in 2023, Bloodhound T3 from Trap City and even rapped about it in his song.
I don't see 3 blood. I was shooting that he dropped. Hey, hold on. He thought the bomb blew up.
When Tero speaks, the turning point came when Trap City Rob from Trap City caught Lil Jeff attempting another hit on Glenn. June 8, 2024, became the day Bloodhound lost their most valuable asset, and Trap City proved they could match their enemy's violence with precision timing and superior firepower. Lil Jeff had been planning to finish what he started with Glenn, tracking his movements and waiting for the right opportunity. But Trap City Rob was ready and waiting on the porch when Jeff made his move, turning the hunter into the hunted. The shootout was quick but devastating. Trap City Rob lit up Lil Jeff 19 times at close range, with 58 shell casings recovered from the scene according to police reports. Jeff's body dropped right there on the porch, ending his reign as Bloodhound's top shooter and giving Trap City their biggest victory in the war. Without him, Bloodhound lost coordination and started making desperate moves that exposed their remaining members to arrest and retaliation. The psychological impact was just as important as the loss. Trap City even released a video mocking Lil Jeff's death.
Get him right there, brother. Get him right there. Hey, this is what he did on the couch. No, man, we ain't gonna get we ain't giving him all that.
Bloodhound's response to Lil Jeff's death came 4 months later when they arranged the Carter, the same Trap City member whose chain theft started the entire war. Now, here's where Trap City Tero's mouth lands him in trouble. According to Tero, Bloodhound didn't Carter themselves. They paid other blocks like Shorty Mob or Drench Gang to do it for them. This made the beef more complicated because Bloodhound was using other crews to slide for them in exchange for money, drugs, or favors. Proxy warfare makes it harder for police to build cases and harder for ops to know who they were really fighting. If Tero is telling the truth, Bloodhound basically hired shooters to handle their revenge while keeping their main members safe from police. This would explain how they got Carter without losing their own soldiers, but it also showed they were running out of people willing to risk their lives. Tero's claims about proxy shooters changed how people saw the war. Instead of 2 crews going at it, this was multiple sets working together while keeping distance from the actual hits. Comments on Reddit like, "So he basically saying Drench/No Limit played a part," confirmed his diss and proxy warfare allegation. The proxy theory gained credibility when T-Slick and J-Mo from Bloodhound were arrested in early 2025 for the double Monty and Lil Rob from BKN on January 26, 2024. BKN was associated with Trap City, making this another front in the ongoing war. But the timing suggested Bloodhound was using multiple crews to hit Trap City-affiliated targets while avoiding direct confrontation with Trap City's main soldiers. Monty and Lil Rob were near Innovations High School during their lunch break, showing that Bloodhound was willing to target anyone connected to their enemies regardless of their direct involvement in the conflict. The school location made the hit even more brazen, demonstrating that Bloodhound had no regard for civilian safety or public spaces when pursuing their enemies. Tero's one-man diss campaign, the arrests of T-Slick on January 31, 2025, and J-Mo on February 4, 2025, proved that police has been building cases against Bloodhound throughout the war. Feds were collecting evidence, watching social media, and connecting to specific people while the beef raged publicly. The arrests also showed how much violence Bloodhound was responsible for in a short time, suggesting their body count was higher than people knew. Look at Lil Jeff, for example. He is said to have allegedly more people than even King Von.
He allegedly people.
How many people do you allegedly?
He claims 11. 11 people.
And the craziest thing is, man, that him and his right-hand man Q50, who's still alive out here, God knows how. You know, Q50 claims to have 8 bodies. Jeff was claiming 11, but they would damn near update their body counts. You know, there was a famous Facebook post where Q50 like hopped online and he updated it and he's like, yeah, got another one. We're at 7 or 8 now, or whatever it was. You know, Lil Jeff, he was on Instagram Live after he caught his last body, talking about, yo, it's 11 now. We up 11 now. We just went up another one. Talking about, they got guys that are on life support talking about, my 10th one's pending. These guys took the self-snitching about bodies to...
Federal involvement meant this wasn't just local gang beef anymore. It was big enough to get multiple law enforcement agencies involved. Trapcity Tero became the voice of his set because he survived when many didn't, but also because he knew how to use social media to control stories while staying out of federal trouble. He has made a lot of talks online, which shows he's not one to shy away from social media, talking about his gang life. He started getting money by selling, which he said in this documentary.
I started getting money by selling, but that ended up hanging to gang banging, because I had a block legal gang, so you could start selling legally.
You just trying to show them another way out.
Another way out.
You could talk to all them guys, people with jobs. You could talk to the scholars. You could talk to the doctors, because they be the ones judging but ain't willing to listen. You teaching them right now, bro.
I'm really teaching them.
They afraid as hell to come out here and get out here with you, but they got access to resources, opportunity, money, programs that you need.
That's why some fans accused him of snitching for revealing gang business. He's still out there dissing his enemies, and people think he's just trying to fuel the fire of the war, keeping the beef alive through his constant online posts and interviews. Tero's main diss track against Bloodhounds is No Diss, released on September 21st, 2024. The track sets a confrontational tone right from the intro, with Tero saying, "What you saying, bronim? Ah, yeah," aimed directly at his rivals. In the first verse, he raps about being ready to retaliate, saying, "If they put the bag on him, we get him, then get a flight." The key diss lines hit hard. The disrespect gets worse when Tero raps this about Z-Money. Tero also targets Q50 and Lil Jeff specifically, rapping, "I ain't dissing, but if I diss, it's towards Lil Jeffrey. Man, take the Q50 out the infinity. His ass can't even spin." A Reddit post from September 22nd, 2024 discusses the track, confirming it mentions Bloodhound members like Q50, Lil Jeff, Z-Money, and Vert. Comments like, "They too busy on Bloodhound dick to see how Tero is an actual good rapper," show the track's impact on drill fans who recognize Tero's talent despite the gang war. Tero didn't stop there. He dropped another diss targeting Q50 specifically in April 2025. A Reddit post titled "Trapcity Tero dissing Bloodhound Q50" shows fans were still engaged with the beef months later. In this track, Tero gets personal with Q50, rapping about their history. He even referred to Q50 as his son who looks up to him, positioning himself as dominant over Q50 and mocking him as a subordinate. Tero also discussed Bloodhounds in several interviews, providing raw details about the beef. Tero talked about growing up with Bloodhound members Lil Jeff and Vert before dissing them in No Diss, showing how personal relationships turn deadly.
Especially with Bloodhound Lil Jeff, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen pictures with you and him when y'all was shorties.
Yeah.
Did he grow up around the way as well?
Who?
Bloodhound Lil Jeff.
Yeah, he grew up around the way shit, but not around our way. For real, like, you know, not around. His daddy grew around, you know, he grew up in the hood. You talking about Jeff, bro?
You talking Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His brother, his brother grew up. His family from the hood.
Yeah.
In another interview published on October 20th, 2024, Tero addressed Bloodhound's actions and explained his perspective on the war. The vlog specifically mentions Scrooly G Beef Q50 diss Leal, indicating direct disses against specific Bloodhound members. Concerning his proxy warfare claim, some fans on Reddit still think Tero might be trolling, with a post titled, "Trapcity Tero might be the biggest troll." Users debate whether he's serious or just stirring up drama, with comments like, "Some say he was with Cap and that he shot 50, connecting him to potential violence against Bloodhounds." As of June 2025, the beef remains unresolved with ongoing tension between surviving members. Trapcity continues with Tero as their most visible rep, while Bloodhound been weakened by arrests and losing key members like Lil Jeff. This war has only shown that drill music plays a big role in escalating gang violence. The chain that started everything is forgotten, but bodies keep dropping and the war keeps going. In Chicago's drill scene, there are no endings. only breaks between rounds of violence that could restart with a single social media post or wrong encounter on the block. If you like this video, click one of the windows on either side to watch a video similar to this one.